Welcome back, guys. James Hill, founder and CEO of Black Millionaires. Got my guy in the building.
Yes,
Let the people
sir.
know.
Cliff Roach, the money coach in the house, Detroit native, former wealth management advisor, man. Let's get it in.
Let's get it in, man. We got a lot to talk about today. One topic that's been banging the timeline. It's like we can't get away from this. The life coach Cheyenne Bryant. So a lot of controversy around her education.
Hmm.
She's a famous life coach. She has almost, well over 1 million followers across all platforms.
Yeah.
And when you get visibility like that, a lot of scrutiny comes. So people are starting to question her credentials. Allegedly, she was saying she was a therapist, but then people start calling that out and saying like, okay, you're not a therapist. Are you licensed? Now she says she's not licensed. Then now they're attacking her alleged doctorate degree because her name on social media is Dr. Bryant.
Right.
Now, I know you have a unique perspective on this because as a former wealth management, you were licensed
Yeah.
in several different areas of finance, and they're extremely strict about
Yes.
that. So she's in a real gray area about, being licensed, not licensed, providing therapy, not providing therapy. So during her Breakfast Club interview, life coach Cheyenne Bryant says her college that she attended for her PhD, Argosy University, was shut down and wiped out all proof of her doctorate degree in her dissertation. And then on the Joe Budden podcast, she said she got basically rescinded her license because she didn't want to bill insurance and she didn't want to abide by the strict code and rules. So like when you hear somebody say
Yeah.
that, what comes to your
it's
mind?
tough. First of all, when I hear this disappearing act of the proof of paperwork, it immediately reminds me of Wilt Chamberlain allegedly scoring 100 points in the game, but it's not documented on camera anywhere.
Facts.
Right? But nonetheless, from the perspective of like being a licensed professional, I can tell you that the people who are in a profession normally are wildly offended by people who
Yes.
are in that realm making money in an unorthodox way and not following the same type of protocol and procedure and scrutiny and strict guidelines that
Yeah.
the licensed professionals do. But on the other hand, I could understand how you see it wildly profitable to not play within the actual rules of the licensure, right? Because whether we're
Yes.
talking, finance, which is what I'm used to, or even in the doctoral therapist space, it's like there's social media things, there's business ventures that you probably just can't get into and scale the same way
Yes.
if you're following all the rules of the book. So it might be more profitable for you and your business to actually play outside of the lines, but where the lines get blurred is when people don't actually know if you're a licensed doctor or not, and they might be trusting
Yes.
your thoughts. In her case, is like, look, I have the education, right? I know all the same things, but it still hits different when you can't prove and come up with the paperwork, right? It just makes it
Yes.
a little different.
Yes, and I think the area she's playing in is that gray area. Now, on the Joe Budden podcast, she did say that one of the motivations to rescind her license is more profitable.
Yeah.
Right? So she can go around branding herself as a doctor, but operate as a life coach. And now she don't have to bill insurance. She just charging you $350 an hour
Right.
to sit online and coach you and do whatever she needs to do, whatever type of therapy, whatever type of information she's providing you. She don't have to pay any dues. She don't have to abide by any strict rules. And if you give, let's say she have a bad experience with the client, well, you can't go to the CFP board or one of them things
Right.
like I could for you if you was my financial advisor.
Yeah.
I can go to FINRA, I can go to a lot of people if you're my
SEC,
financial
yeah.
advisor, SEC. Well, if you're just my life coach, I gotta file a lawsuit against you. Litigation is extremely expensive in America. So essentially you just lose.
Yep.
And I think she knows that. And she said the thing out loud on one of the largest podcast, well, the largest hip hop podcast,
Right.
the Joe Budden podcast. And then that bled over to her going on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, this Breakfast Club made it worse because I'm from the hood. I grew up, I'm a miracle. I know people see what I am now, but I went to some of the worst schools in the worst hood from the east side of Detroit. Every single school, my preschool, my elementary school, my middle school, and my high school are all shut down.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in college, they needed to verify for like a $2,000 scholarship if I was like what schools I went to or something. It was something crazy with the application process, and they had to verify all of that. I had to go and talk to my high school, try to figure out my middle school. Luckily, my high school and middle school was connected,
Yeah.
so
They were able to pull the
that solved that
documents.
one problem. But my elementary school and all of that was separate.
Mhm.
It took me probably about a week to get all my information, but I got it. And I say that to say her school shut down in 2019. It literally says on the website that you can go and request your transcripts. All these people who have PhDs or even people who even attended her school that she claims she went to are clapping back saying, okay, now you are flat out lying in our face. She said that she contacted the third party that handles this, and they said, well, after 2 years, we can't give your information. Like, does that in America, 2 years? Sometimes people might take a 2-year break in between their PhD.
Yeah. I mean, all of these organizations that give accreditation or hold records, they do all have weird timelines on which they are required to keep records, and then after a certain point, they don't have to anymore. That doesn't mean that they can't access it.
Yeah.
But I feel two types of ways about this, because in her defense, whether she completed the doctorate program or not, there are people who still have more information and experience about a subject matter than a licensed person actually does. Because I guarantee you there's somebody right now that's 2 or 3 years out of school and they are a doctor. They have all the paperwork to prove it, but they haven't had the reps. They haven't had the amount of clients. They haven't seen the experience.
Exactly.
So she probably is more talented at her craft than somebody 2 or 3 years out who haven't had as many opportunities to actually learn and get better. So that doesn't mean that, because she can't prove the paperwork, nobody should turn to her or she should never be able to give advice. But it is kind of a sticky subject for the lines to be blurred with the doctor part.
To me, that's all she got to do. Change your social media names.
Yeah.
Drop the doctor. Just drop it.
For sure.
And if you are actually a doctor, just post up your dissertation. Shut everybody up.
Yep.
Just post a dissertation. It should be on your website. For one, if you did an actual dissertation, I don't understand in what world would you not want to promote that? You should be citing yourself. Like, I did this study on this and we interviewed 15 kids or we interviewed 15 universities, whatever type of research you did. I don't understand why that wouldn't be like standard practice.
Yeah.
And we black people question us all the time. They see us in a suit. Oh, what are you doing? How are you doing? Like, how did you get here? And they think like, even though I am from the hood, people still be like, oh, you struggled, you grew up poor, you did it. So people always have these stigmas of black people, and you went to private schools. You know what I'm saying? You didn't grow up the same way I grew up. But if we walk in the building, people still gonna say, we both are the same. And it's like all black people are not a monolith. We didn't all come from the same struggles. We didn't all come from the same situations and backgrounds. But we all are subject to the same criticism and questioning our credibility. I understand that part. My issue is that is your time to flex.
Yeah.
When somebody say, you talking about this stock market stuff online, what gives you the credibility to talk about it? You have license. You got 3 licenses and almost a decade of experience managing millions of dollars and helping thousands of families. So it's kind of like, you giving me an opportunity to flex. She's taking it and being offended. And once she started cussing on the Breakfast Club, I knew it was a wrap.
That turned me off immediately.
Yeah. I mean, you're a professional. I think she should have handled it different. If I'm her, I'm, moving on from the whole doctor thing because that is killing her credibility. And
I think she would still be able to be wildly successful even without it.
Exactly.
You know what you're talking about. You're entertaining.
You're pretty.
You pass the eye test. I think people are going to buy in regardless.
Exactly. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, allegedly, just drop the doctor or go back to school, do something online, and just shut everybody up because nobody's going to live this down unless you are, backing up what you represent online.